Bps Rips were live August 2nd, 2021, second day of August, obviously. Uh, Marlins are up 4-0. Lewis Brinson hit a grand slam. Jesus Luzardo is starting for the Marlins. He had a no-hitter through one, but he gave up 2 hits and 2 runs in the second inning. It's his debut for Miami. I'm going to become a Miami fan soon because I like the Marlins. And I like Luzardo and Sixto. Like what the Marlins are doing there. The Marlins are really doing a spectacular job, accumulating a lot of young trim. Ranger Suarez, it's my boy. Go back about 3 years ago, top 50 prospects, 1,500. I think I had him ranked in the top 10. So, yeah, I want to celebrate that. Watch, he's probably going to give up like 6 runs this inning. So I'm jinxing him. But Suarez it's playing all right so far. It's only been a couple innings. I mean, obviously they're playing the Jimmy is back on YouTube, people. Welcome, welcome. Phillies Mets. Just talking about that. Ranger Suarez is no hitting the Mets. At least 2 minutes ago. So we'll see what happens with the rest of the game. There's still 6 innings. A trade deadline came and passed a couple days ago. We're waiting for Jimmy's perspective on that. What the Mets did, they stocked up on a couple players. Doing all right. Trivia tonight. Dalton Jeffries made his debut for Oakland. This is his rookie card. What's up, Obi? Obi Obes? Randy Arozarena. Jose Ramirez, virtual reality. You own this card, and you become Jose Ramirez. It says right on here, virtual reality. You go to a batting cage, and you're going to stroke baseballs all over. Joe Adell, who was called up by the Angels about 30 minutes ago, and Dylan Carlson, who's been a fixture in the St. Louis outfield for this year, his rookie year. Spencer Howard. I love the trade. I love getting Spencer Howard into a real organization that can develop pitching. Although I hope Ranger Suarez makes me eat my words. Oh, Manny Trio's being erected to the Phillies Wall of Fame this Saturday. That's cool. Jimmy's saying the Mets don't have the pitching to bail them out of the bad offense, but Carrasco came back. That's a start. Syndergaard and DeGrom can't be too far away. They got a lot of injuries, though. I try to be positive, but there's a lot of injuries there. They got Rich Hill, though. They made a move. They should have traded for Spencer Howard. I would have took Francisco Alvarez and Brett Batty for Spencer Howard. Stroman lost the other night. They're not aces. They're not going to play they're not like Aaron Nola. An ace is going to go out there and give it, 1 run, 8 inning or 9 inning complete shutout like Aaron Nola does every night. That's the problem. Their aces are shelved for the Mets. Once they get them back, though, and that division's wide open. The Braves stocked up. Obi, you got to be happy. You got a revamped outfield. I think they got a bullpen arm. So, but the Nats are rebuilding. The Marlins are still, still young. The Phillies still don't have a manager. So it's open for the Mets or the Braves to win that division. Jeff still thinks the Nats could win the division. You've seen stranger things. You have. Yo, you guys want to hear a funny story about this kid, Tom Hanks? Jimmy, if he could clone one player, it would be 25 Nolas. I hope you mean Austin Nola, because he plays all over the infield. Catcher, first base, third base. It's Aaron Nola's brother for the Padres. I'd clone him. I'd clone Aaron Nola if my lineup was the 1927 Yankees, and I could score 10 runs a game. Now, I'm hard on Nola, but I give him a hard time, but he's not bad. He's not a bad pitcher. Could be worse. Could be Vinny Velasquez. Trivia question: Who's don't type the answer, retweet it. Who's making their debut for the Marlins tonight? Who's the pitcher making the Marlins debut tonight? Came over from Oakland in a trade for Starling Marte, who stole 2 bases his first game with the A's. 91 Donruss. It's 91, right, Obi? It's Willie Stargell. Willie Stargell, 475 career home runs, it says here on the puzzle. Oh, this is the wrapper sticking to the puzzle. That's weird. Don't see that often. Tom Gordon, speaking of trade deadline acquisitions. I don't know if he was a deadline organization acquisition, but he was a damn good closer. Came up as a starter. Didn't really work, but became a lights out closer for a couple years. Dave Martinez, the Nationals manager, is from his playing days on the Expos. Was a Cub too. Rated rookie Mets. Not who we wanted, but it's Julio Valera. Never quite panned out. Tony Phillips, utility guy, Tigers, Oakland, played a lot of positions. Oral Hershiser, the board dog, one of the most boring announcers in baseball history, from what I've heard. Carlos Baerga, he was a good player, wasn't he? Played for the Cleveland before they became the Guardians. Played for the Mets. He put up some numbers, that kid. Mark Portugal. I don't know how they named the whole country after him. He was a jobber. Greg Olson, Diamond King. I've never seen this card before. It's pretty sharp. He was another good closer for Baltimore. Played tight end for the Carolina Panthers. He was a catcher for the Atlanta Braves. Lance Johnson rocking an old school uniform. It's a great uniform right there. Kenneth Lance Johnson. Ken Johnson. The NBA free agency's happening tonight. Chris Paul signed a deal until he's 40 years old. And Nerlens Noel, I didn't even know he was still around. He signed a 3-year deal with the Knicks. The caddy for Smoltz. Yeah, who's Smoltz's caddy? I think you mentioned that before. Glenn Braggs, Jack Howell, Thurston Howell's kid. Any Gilligan's Island fans out there? Greg Olson. Yep, that's right. He caddies for Smoltzy. I should have known when I said Olson because he was a Brave. Or was it the Orioles pitcher? Sean Bosky. He had a good rookie year, if you remember, but never quite panned out after that. Ryan Sandberg highlights card, probably highlighting when he quit in the Phillies. No, this one is on the Cubs. Maybe he had like 10 home runs in one game. He was such a good hitter, such a good player. And speaking of Greg Olson, here you go. Greg Olson in the same pack as Greg Olson. I think we've done that once before. Wow, we need a flux capacitor for this. This is a monumental event. Greg Olson, the catcher. Greg Olson, the Diamond King reliever. He changed the wardrobe after I pulled the first card over. He said, that's good. It's a good. He slid down the bat pole. Oh, Jimmy brought up another theory. This could be Matt Olson's dad and grandpa. Same pack. Wow, that's deep. Wow, this is crazy. Then they would be the second father and son to be playing in the major leagues after the Griffies. Wow. Yeah, exactly. Bodo no diddly. Greg Olson's no. It's awesome. We're on this to the trivia. Whoever gets the trivia right, you get the Greg Olson masterpiece. I think it's only fair. Speaking of Greg Olson, here's 2000 Bowman. Yeah, so you just want to hear a funny story. Growing up, we were like in our mid-teens. We used to go to the schoolyard a lot, which I'm sure, I don't know, I'm sure everybody did that, had a playground or something. So we go to the schoolyard a lot. We play basketball a lot, and we welcome all people, all kids, even if we didn't really know them, they come, like, hey, can I shoot with you? So we play ball? Yeah, come on. We're always looking for for people to play ball. So one day this kid comes up, and he was about 3 years younger than the rest of us, and he shows up, and we're playing ball, and he looked like Tom Hanks. The kid's 12. He looked like Tom Hanks. So we say, all right, your name's Tom Hanks. So he didn't seem too upset about it. I mean, this is before Tom Hanks became an Oscar or Grammy Award, not Grammy, Oscar Award winning actor. So, so at the end of the game, he missed a layup, and it cost his team the game. So my man Rob one yelled at him, "You missed an effing layup!" And the kid went like just left, never to be showed up again. So later that night, one of our dudes, he went, he took a BB gun and he shot out the back of the kid's house by accident. He meant to shoot out the other kid's windows. He shot out the windows of this kid, Tom Hanks. So the father from the house that he meant to shoot up came around and said, I understand that this was meant for my son, but you shot out my neighbor's windows. And I didn't condone this at the time. I mean, I thought it was hysterical, but I didn't condone it. So, so think about it. This kid, we never saw the kid again, but I saw him today, like outside of an ATM, and it made me remember this story. So this kid came around the schoolyard, was called Tom Hanks, got his window shot out that night after being yelled at for missing a layup. What kind of irreparable emotional damage was instilled in this kid by my man Rob One? And the other kid, I can't name him. He's not on Twitter, but I don't want to name the perpetrator. I just remember. Jeff's asking how I remembered him. I mean, it's been about 30 years, but I just remembered him. I just saw him and I said, "That's Tom Hanks." So, my man Rob One, if you're watching, that was really me thing that you did to Tom Hanks. Oh, I had him done. I had him done. He's one of my favorite baseball players of all time. He's a more famous Tom. Yeah, he's a famous dude. I should have went up to him and said, "Oh, I'm sorry about that. I apologize for what my man Rob One did to you." And we don't condone that, Rob. I had him done. 40 home runs, like 5 straight years. Michael Kadire. Kurt, if you're watching, I know you're a Kadire fan. We're going to put this aside for you. It's even autographed. I think he signed some baseballs for Kurt's kid one time, which was a really cool thing to do. And, his kid really likes Kadire, so let's put this aside for you. Wow, Luis Castillo, not the pitcher. The second baseman for the Marlins. This is before he started pitching for the Reds. He really righted his ship this year. He started struggling at first. Kadire, yeah, he does. I heard good things about him. Did you ever meet him or anything? Pat Danaker, Pat the Jobber. There's no Pat Burrell. Darnell Stenson, Red Sox, Bunner. Julio Zalella. Never heard of him. Vinny Castilla. There you go, Obi. Colorado Rocky, former Brave. Looks like he's on the Marlins here. Pincio Castillo Suri. Interesting handwriting there. Solomon. Yeah, you can use. Sometimes you can tell from interactions, like with the fans and on interviews, if they're polite, good guys. Yo, this is back to back really nice cards. Carlos Delgado and Vernon Wells. Remember these two guys? These were pretty good players right here. And the TV card is Darren Erstad. This is the first TV card that we got that was pretty good. Usually we get like Darnell Stenson. That was a good pack. That was a pack I could really be proud of. If I ever have any kids in the future, I could tell them, hey, look, I got to tell you about what happened August 2nd, 2021, when I opened a 2020 Bowman. I mean, a 2000 Bowman pack 21 years later, and the guys I got. Wells was good. He had some good speed and power, high average. Opening day 2019. The goal here is Mr. Met and Rosie Red. Yeah, Wells was a solid player until he went to, I think, where did he go to sign him to a big contract and just didn't really pan out? Or am I confusing him with someone else? Joey Votto. He's still hitting a lot of home runs. Matt Duffy. He's still not hitting home runs. High on base guy, but that's really about all he took to the game. Matt Davidson. Blue Jays. I think for some reason, I think the Angels. 150 years of fun. Jim Palmer. A baseball bat in his hand. It's pretty cool. You don't see that often. Rather see him in his jockey underwear. It was 7 games, yeah. David Peralta, underrated player. Here you go, Jim. Edwin Diaz, Mets closer. Nice card. Doesn't look like there's too many fans in the stands, so it could be this was taken during COVID. He was a Yankee. I don't remember him as a Yankee. And Mitch Garver. He's a good catcher for the Twins. He hit like 30 home runs 2 years ago. Final pack of the evening, top Series 2. I'm really bored of these Series 2 cards. So, I'm not going to get any more. Any update on the Phillies? Or the Marlins? I got one more pack in me. Shut up, old man. You let Chump don't know where I had to come from. Josh Naylor. Sorry for cursing. Jose Leclerc, he's out for the year. And in Series 2, they still have him in Series 2. It's like they're rubbing it in. He's out for the year. Speaking of that, Jim, Kumar Rocker, they didn't sign him. And the owners was trolling him about it. And they still get the 11th pick next year. They did, so it's 4-3 Miami. Tucker Barnhart. He's a catcher. Tyler Glasnow. Unfortunately, he's out for this year and probably a lot of next year. Tommy John surgery did him in. It's a shame. I guess better safe than sorry. William Contreras. I'm trying to trade for him in a dynasty league. Like something, giving up something like as a throw-in. You guys know I don't really like catchers, but if I can get him cheap. No, it won't. But if they saw something, I mean, who knows? Trevor Story, he's still a Rocky. Hyun Jun Ryu. If you see something, say something. Yeah, that's it's like a public service announcement. Backwards card, Eric Hosmer. Right. Yeah. Yeah, you have the money now for not signing him. But if you, sign him. What the hell? What's a few dollars? If he works out great, if he has surgery, it's only a year and a half. He's out. Still young. Barshow. Verlander. If you drafted him, I don't know. Fredmil Reyes. I hope he hits 4 home runs tonight. Isan Diaz. He really didn't pan out too well yet. Adbert Alzolay. I like him. Luis Severino. He was pitching soon. Isn't he coming back soon? I don't know what's up with that. I thought they would. They have the money. Just sign him and take the gamble. Poor kid. He's going to play in the independent league probably. Probably play for the Camden River Sharks if they were still around. How cool would that have been? or St. Paul, something like JD Drew. Remember JD Drew? He's not going back to the I hear noises outside the window. There's people walking by. That's what's bizarre. The people outside, it sounds like they're like barking. It's a crazy world. Somebody's going to shoot up my windows now. I better get away from the window. So, all right, fellas, it wasn't that great of some gets tonight. I mean, the Bowmans were pretty good. Yeah, we got Adam done, so that makes it all a better night. So, thank you all for joining. Welcome back, Jimmy. Definitely missed, brother. Hope everybody enjoys the rest of their evening. Hope your team wins. So you guys keep watching. I'll keep ripping. Have a good night, everybody.